What is up, everybody? We are live with the MMA Mainstream Podcast. We are your hosts, James, joined by Kaelyn, and we're going to be discussing, of course, what else? Mainstream MMA. Of course, we're going to start with last week and the UFC 262. Michael Chandler fought Charles Oliveira for the lightweight title, and it didn't fare too well for Chandler, but we'll get to that. But we're going to start with the bottom of the main card with Shane Burgos versus Edson Barboza. I didn't get a chance to see the fight, but I did hear about Barboza hit him in the temple, and it's like it took a minute to register, and then he dropped. Well, tell me your thoughts on the fight.
It was so strange because, so I was watching the fights at Buffalo Wild Wings, actually. So, nice. Eating, drinking, but I was watching the fight, paying really close attention. I saw him get hit in the temple, but he's still in his fight stance. He still has his hands up, and he's still looking. It looks like he's looking for his next strike. Like nothing fazed him, and then all of a sudden he drops. His legs wobble. He falls backwards, and he's out. He was out when he hit the ground too. It was I've never seen anything like that. The delay in the knockout was very long. It was weird. Never ever seen that before, but I think it had to have been at least almost 10 seconds before he dropped. So strange. He was on his feet bouncing around, like normal, and then it just hit him. So strange. Never seen that before.
Now, this happened in the third round. How did Burgos, did he look good throughout the fight until that moment, or was
it was a tough fight?
Barboza?
Yeah, no, Barboza looked very good, really sharp on the feet, but Burgos was kind of up there too, kind of surviving, throwing his own shots. It was a pretty competitive fight, and then Burgos just kind of got wore down towards that last round where he got knocked out. But man, he was still in it. He was in it for the whole fight until literally he dropped.
Yeah, that's too bad. But, it is
strange.
what it is. And Edson Barboza, he's ranked number 13 and Burgos was ranked number 9. Hopefully that will kick him up in the rankings, beating number 9.
Yeah, Barboza's so good. Weird. I saw, people were talking about that weird knockout. And then I even seen a couple doctors post videos of what their opinions were on it. It was pretty interesting. They said they never seen that before either. But, when it comes to the brain, it's just, you never know. So strange.
That's very true. Out of all the fights that I've ever watched, I have never seen a situation like that where a guy gets hit in the head and then he's there and then gone all of a sudden. It's like,
it was weird.
Delayed reaction.
Yeah, I was saying I was, eating and drinking at the same time. So, I thought I missed it. So I was waiting for the replay. When the replay hit, I'm like, oh, I didn't miss it. It just happened. It's so weird.
That is very odd. But as far as I know, Burgos is okay. And we'll see what happens with Barboza since he'll be moving up the rankings and what they'll do with him next. We're going to backtrack a little bit and we're going to discuss Jacare, who after his fight, he was on the prelims. He got his arm snapped, and now he is actually done with the UFC. He is completed his obligations to the UFC, and I believe is a free agent.
Yeah, that was it was hard to watch too because his arm. I think that same arm that got broke was the same arm that was injured before. I think he had a surgery on there. Was strange, and I don't remember what exactly the submission was. Sorry, I'm not a jiu-jitsu expert, but his arm snapped. But what it looked like is that it looked like his shoulder dislocated, but in fact it was his arm snapping in half, literally. Very strange. Ooh. Yeah. Watching the replay, like that was kind of hard to once you realize what's going on, I'm like, oh no. But that sucks. I heard he had a couple injuries to the arm already. I think one happened in a jiu-jitsu match. And then the last one was in another UFC fight. But yeah, that sucks. Same arm. So man, and that bone that broke, just that takes a lot of force for that thing to break. I was a little surprised. I saw a picture of an X-ray. It was a bad break. Man.
That was his 4th loss in a row, and he underwent surgery on Monday to repair it. So we'll see what happens. I didn't realize he was 41. It makes sense now because I have been watching him for quite some time.
No, he's been around forever. I did not know he was in his 40s already, though.
Yeah.
He doesn't look 40.
No, he doesn't. He looks really good, but
yeah,
no. Got that arm snapped, and now he's done with the UFC. So we'll see what does he move on from here? Does he go to Bellator? Does he continue fighting? I mean, his prowess in jiu-jitsu is amazing.
He seems like, I'm sure he'll be doing some kind of competition, either jiu-jitsu or I don't know about Bellator specifically, but I'm sure someone might be interested in him. And I don't think he's ready to stop fighting. He looks like he has like that fighting spirit still. So we'll see. I don't know.
I hope so, because I am a fan of Jacare, so I'd like to see him continue in the sport.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. Now back to the main card. We have Kaelyn Chookagian.
Yeah.
Okay. I wasn't pronouncing the H. Chookagian. Thank you.
Yeah.
Versus Viana Araujo. And yeah.
That was a good fight.
Kaelyn got the win by decision.
No,
was it one-sided? Was it
Kaelyn or the other girl got it? I thought the other girl won. I could be wrong.
No, this one says that Kaelyn got the win.
She did. Oh, okay. So that fight was close. I think it could have gone either way, actually. But it's a competitive fight on the feet, that's for sure. But yeah, no finish there.
Yeah, and it always sucks when there's not a finish to a fight. I mean, I get it. It's fights, that's a human chess match in that way. But man, sometimes you just want to see a fight get finished. If it's an exciting fight that goes to very true. If it's an exciting fight that goes the distance, that's one thing. But if it's just if it's super one-sided, it's like, man.
Yeah. It just kind of drags out.
It's almost like you want to have a mercy rule to be like, okay, this ain't going anywhere. Let's wrap this up.
That's right. I mean, it wasn't that boring. It was competitive.
I mean, good. I didn't know. I don't know. I didn't see it. But I feel like there are fights like that. And I'm a fight fan. I've seen tons of fights. Yet there are fights where I'm just like, oh, okay, this fight right now, it's time for me to use the restroom.
You're like, I could use the restroom and probably wouldn't miss anything. But Kaelyn Chookagian fights go that way. I'm not surprised. It's just, it is what it is. A lot of female fights, you aren't going to see a lot of knockouts. So it is, and especially I think she was ranked number 2, so she's good. So no one's going to finish her, but also she's probably not going to finish anyone either. So.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Not a bad fight, though. Not a bad fight.
And here we have another decision, but in the bantamweight division with Matt Schnell versus Rogerio Bontorin. And Bontorin gets the win.
That one is not memorable for me.
See?
It's not.
There's some fights that you're just like, oh, this fight's on. That's cool. Hey, look over there. Oh.
Yeah. You know what else kind of sucked for a little while at Buffalo Wild Wings? They didn't have the sound on all the TV. So they were playing some country song, like happy-go-lucky country song. And while we're watching the UFC fights, I'm like, can we turn the sound on, please?
You're like, this doesn't match what's going on.
It doesn't match. It was so strange.
If it was like a song that gets you amped, I could see, okay, that's cool. Let's do it. Yeah.
Even then, I'm like, it's okay. Turn the sound on, please. And they ended up turning it on, but I had to actually ask. It was so strange. Like, every single one of their TVs had the fight on, but no sound. They were kind of out of it that day, I think.
That's because the servers were like, listen, we have on T-Swift right now. That's what we want to listen to.
It was all, I'm sure she came on at some point. That's how mismatched the music was to what I was watching.
All right, so that fight was not enjoyable, but I did pick Bontorin, and I got the win on it. So yes,
Oh, there you go.
aha, I got the pick. Yeah, other than that, I wasn't very successful. Let's just be real, folks. All right, keep going up the card. We have Tony Ferguson versus Dariush, and
Dariush.
Dariush got the win by decision.
Yep.
Ferguson's been competing for a long time.
Yeah, he has. He's good too. He's really good. Tony Ferguson. Oh, man, did you see any like highlights or anything about this fight?
No, I did not see a thing about this.
No, it was. Yeah, it was pretty one-sided. Unfortunately, I was afraid that was going to happen. Yeah, no, he dominated in well-rounded, dominated everywhere. It sucks to see Tony Ferguson go out that way, you know? Like, I don't know what's going to happen with him.
But he's ranked number 5, so
yeah,
like we'll see what happens because he's still ranked. I have no idea how many fights he has left on his contract.
I don't know either.
But you know, it is the UFC, and they kind of figure what they're going to do.
But Daryush has a pretty big opportunity right now. He keeps getting better and better.
Yep.
He fought a top guy, which is what he asked for last time. This time he didn't call anybody out specifically, but I'm sure he's going to get someone ranked even higher. I mean, I would hope so.
Yeah, you would think because he beat number 5. You think he would be maybe another few spots they would,
or regardless number against. 5, Tony Ferguson. That's a big win to have on your resume, also.
Yeah, that's definitely a name opponent for him.
Yeah, he also said not looking for a fight right away, though. He's kind of taking a break, which I don't blame him. But also, it's not like he's calling anyone out specifically and saying he wants to fight right away. It looks like he wants to take a break. Maybe later in the year, he said he'll fight. So I don't know what UFC will give him.
If I'm correct, his wife is pregnant, so I can see why you'd want to take some time off.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. But he's in an interesting situation right now where I think if he did call someone out, he could probably get him, and he didn't do it.
I think you're right.
Disappointing. A little disappointing.
But it makes sense because he does want to take a break, so I understand that as well.
Yeah, he fought recently, also before this fight, so I get it. But man, I think he should have called someone out because I think he would have gotten it. No matter when he wants to fight, I think he would have gotten it. So I don't know.
We have been seeing that a lot where fighters that have just competed might be competing less than 2 months later. And I wonder if that is a symptom of coming out of the pandemic, because you don't see fighters really taking the time out to get prepped like they usually would with a full fight camp. They are just, I'm good. Like okay, let's just do it.
Let's just keep going instead of taking a break and starting all over, which is good. I like that. I think fighters should do that anyway. But the ones that are down to do that definitely got that chance because of COVID, you know, and especially when they had the whole Fight Island where, you know, they would already be out there. And it's like, well, why am I going to go home if I could just do it again? I'm in shape. I'm ready to go. Let's just do it again, you know, and that happened with quite a few fighters. So that was cool. I like to see that.
Yeah. Dariush is a prime example, and he's doing great. He's performing very well. But then on the other hand, you have Kevin Holland, who has gone in there in top spots and sucked.
Well, that happens. It's either going to go one way or the other, I think. Well, I mean, everything's possible.
True.
But
That's true. But like, I was kind of expecting maybe a 50-50 from Holland. But
you were hoping so.
Yeah. I was hoping. But trash talk ain't enough.
I think he got exposed for sure on the ground. So, you know, if there's something you don't know that you need more experience in and that happens, then it's either going to go one way or the other. You're going to lose back to back or get away with it. It just depends on your opponents. So, yeah.
Well, for Daryush, it's working. And so good luck to him and who they pick next for him.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
It's got to be, that was number 5, so ooh.
Yeah. Well,
I'd have to say that, you know, number 1 contender through, you know, 4, because that's really the only option that they have for him.
And I'm
Unless
sure
they
he'll
put
be
him in
ready though.
with the
He gets a
champ.
break and then gets to have a full fight camp. Hopefully that's a situation. And then whoever they give him, he'll have the best chance also. So taking a break's not a bad idea, especially after
Yep,
2
very
fights
true.
back.
All right, now we're going to move on to the main event of that evening.
God, this fight was crazy.
Which was UFC vet by quite a few fights, because he's been with the UFC for quite some time. Charles Oliveira versus Michael Chandler. From what I saw in the highlights, I mean, they were highlights cut together by some random person.
Yeah.
I thought Chandler looked good in the first, from what I saw.
They both looked great. Yeah, he did look really good. They both got their shots in. Until that happened, it was a really competitive fight. They both looked really good. But man, Charles Oliveira, I don't know what's in his water nowadays, but man, he's gotten so good. And I'm not saying there's something in his water. I'm just saying that he was good. He's always been good, but now he's kind of on another level right now. And the fact that he was able to get Michael Chandler, who's also in a very good spot right now as well, is really impressive, but also still impressive the way Michael Chandler was also. It was just a crazy fight. Oliveira got him and just capitalized on it and took it. It was crazy.
I
It
did
was a good
see
fight.
that.
It was a really good fight.
I did see that he clipped him and they just kept on him. Which,
yeah, I mean that's what you got to do.
That's exactly. As for UFC fighters, that's what you do, and that's how you get the win. And Charles Oliveira, I picked Chandler, you picked Chandler. We all kind of thought, oh, Chandler's going to be great.
Well, he was. He still was great. He just got clipped.
Yeah, he was. He just got caught.
He did, yeah. And he got caught so bad where it gave him a few more seconds for Oliveira to be like, okay, let's finish this, and did it. Man, I was going for Chandler though. I was, but man, now seeing how good Oliveira is, like, holy crap, he deserves it, you know?
Yeah, completely agree. I do think now that since Chandler lost, they'll have him compete against maybe 2 people, depending on how he looks in that performance back, and then possibly give him a title shot down the line. We'll see.
Yeah, probably not for a while, but I definitely want to see him fight all the other top guys. I wonder who they're going to give him next. I wonder when he wants to fight next. I don't know. It's exciting to have him there for sure. But also, I'm excited to see Oliveira defend his belt too. I wonder how that's going to go. But if he keeps going the way he's going now, he's kind of on another level. So we'll see.
So far, well, we'll see. Things change for everybody. So I'll throw a little doubt out there just because Oliveira's he's been in UFC for a long time, but he's been kind of up and down at points.
Yeah, so he was kind of on a losing streak for a little while. I don't know the exact order of how those fights went, but he did have a lot of losses, but then something changed where all of a sudden he's evening it out with all his wins. But man, I don't know.
I think you're
That's
right.
what I'm saying. He's on another level all of a sudden, now it's really happening for him. And he's so sharp.
To be something in the water.
He's so sharp. He looks so good right now.
He looked very comfortable from what I did see in the highlights, so that does help too.
Yeah.
All right. And then, of course, it's the UFC, so there's another fight this weekend. It's a fight night, and we're going to go ahead and our picks for the pay-per-view. You beat me. It was 3-2.
Yeah.
You got me. Man, this is too consistent. Like, I can't hang with this. Like, I keep kicking my ass. Not cool.
That's what I'm here for.
But yeah, thanks. I appreciate it. Good times. All right, but we will make our picks for this UFC card as we start with Jack Hermansen versus Edmund Shabazzian.
Shabazzian. Yeah, whatever.
Shabazzian.
You're so funny.
I like Shabazzian.
Jack Hermansen and Edmund Shabazzian.
Shabazzian.
Yeah.
We got us both coming off losses. Jack is 21-6. Edmund is 11-1. Quite the upside for Jack. Both like their knockouts. Wow, all right.
Jack Hermansen, I believe his last fight was Marvin Vittori. I don't know if you remember that fight or if you watched it, but he lost that fight, but also got his orbital bone broken as well. Had an issue with his eye.
That's a serious injury.
Yeah, he also had COVID. So I think he got COVID after that fight, but his whole team got COVID also. So he's coming off of that. So I don't know what kind of shape he's in now, but that last fight was pretty brutal. But we'll see.
All right. Who do you pick?
I don't know. Edmund Shabazzian just lost to Derek Brunson. I don't know if you remember that. But it was by a KO, TKO. So I don't know. Jack Hermansen's good. He did take a beating in that last one though, and also Shabazzian coming off of a loss, both coming off of losses. But I just, man,
I'm gonna go with Shabazzian because that was his first loss. So
yes.
I hope that he learned a lesson from it and is able to come back better. So I will take Shabazzian.
Yeah, me too. He's in better shape. You know, he didn't get his orbital bone broken, but you know what I mean?
True.
So COVID and that, and I'm probably gonna pick Edmund Shabazzian based on, you know,
on
just
the other strikes.
Yeah.
And it's number 7 versus number 10. So all right, we'll see how that goes this weekend. Moving up the card, we have Ricardo Ramos, or is it Ricardo Ramos? Almost.
Yeah.
It's Brazilian, so I'm trying to I'm not quite sure. Okay, prime example, you have the Gracies. Okay, so it's Hoist Gracie because the R sounds like an A.
It's like
but
an
why isn't it Gahasi?
I don't know.
So that's why I'm always confused. Just being honest. Just saying.
Know.
So bear with me on some of the names because I know I'll read them as a dumb American, but and then once I learn them, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then he's fighting Bill. I'm reading this as Algio.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Or it's Algio. So
Algio, I don't know. To be honest, I don't even know anything about him either.
It's okay. I don't know anything about either of these guys either. All I know is Algio's nickname is Senor Perfecto, which I actually kind of dig. Both favor the submission victory over the KO, TKO, and decision route.
Mm-hmm.
This must be the first fight for Algio in the UFC because he doesn't have any other stats as it pertains to significant strikes or grappling.
Yeah, I don't know. I think, but Ricardo Ramos, though, I think he had a fight a while back and got canceled due to COVID as well. Don't know how long ago that was exactly, but I know that's what happened. That was the situation with his last one. I don't know if these two were supposed to fight each other or if, oh, you know what? No, I remember. His opponent had COVID, but they did not get him a replacement, so he ended up not fighting. That was the situation.
Gotcha.
But I don't know.
I'm going to go with Ramos on this. I
was going to pick him too. Yeah.
Why not? Let's do it. Okay, we picked that card and picked that fight for the card, and we're gonna go to the female fight in the bout. Female bout. There we go. Let me get it right. We have Felicia Spencer versus Norma Dumont Viana. 8-2 against 5-1. Canada versus Brazil.
Yeah.
Right.
Do you remember the fight with Felicia Spencer and Chris Cyborg?
I don't remember every Chris Cyborg fight, but I'm pretty sure Chris Cyborg won.
No. Oh, yes, she did. But also she went all 5. It was a 5-round fight. She went all 5 rounds,
distance, huh?
and she cut her up bad. She got her with a really good elbow on the forehead, and Chris Cyborg split open there. She's good. Felicia Spencer is. She looks a little like I guess you could say unorthodox. Little wild, but she's really sharp. She has weird movement, but she knew how to fight Cyborg and went all the rounds with her. I mean, I was thinking she could have won. It could have been a really weird upset there for Cyborg, but she went all the rounds, cut her up good. Cyborg, I think, capitalized a little bit more. She had the edge. But Felicia Spencer is no joke, though, so I'm picking her.
Well, I have to agree, because that's who I was going to pick originally, because, I mean, I don't know, it just seems like the right pick, especially when she has more of an advantage, at least with the knockout TKO, as compared to Dumont Viana, who doesn't have any wins by that. So
yeah, I think the other girl's in trouble.
Felicia Spencer. What's that?
Yeah, I think the other girl's in trouble. Felicia Spencer, the fact that she even went 5 rounds with Cyborg and didn't get finished, that's crazy. It's crazy.
And speaking of Cyborg, we will be discussing her a little bit later, because she is competing tonight in Bellator.
Yes.
So stay tuned for that. I also picked Spencer based off of her record. She's 8-2 compared to 5-1. That's only a few more fights, but still, that experience, especially like you said, talking about how she fought against Cyborg, that is huge. Yeah. Cyborg is Cyborg. Like, she's Chris Cyborg.
Also, main event. She has a main event experience.
Hardcore fans know who she is. Casual fans might know who she is, but that's a bad woman. So with Spencer having that type of experience, I'll give her the pick.
What's funny is looking at her, you wouldn't think that at all. Crazy.
All right, we both made that pick. Then we're going to keep going up the card in the heavyweights now. Justin Tafa versus Jared Bendera.
Yeah, I don't know who Jared is, but Justin Tafa is a badass too. Yeah, I definitely know the record.
Those New Zealanders. Those New Zealanders, man.
Yes,
they can go.
Yeah. I picked Justin Tafa for sure. I think by knockout as well.
All right, you know what? Like, I want to pick Tafa, but I just got to go with Jared, because 11-5 against 4-2. He has a wealth of experience. Both are coming off losses.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. All of his wins are by knockout for Tafa. Yeah. Whereas Jared is more well-rounded. So I'm just going to go Jared on this one.
I think Tafa's going to knock him out with like a wild uppercut or something. Just watch. I bet that's what's going to happen.
You know what? I wouldn't be shocked. I wouldn't be upset. I'm just going against the grain and going with the more experienced route.
That's what it is.
That's true too. Yeah. That's true too, because we do end up picking the same picks quite often. Yeah. And so I do try to mix it up. So like that, there's that chance that I could, I got her. No. But I'm picking it based off of, I hope so. I hope it's a great fight. I am picking Jared based off of the experience factor though. So hopefully that does lean in my favor.
Yeah, heavyweights, man, you never know. It could be wild. You never know.
And now we have. Oh, this is going to be rough. Carla Esparza. We'll start with her. And then we have
Jan
Jan. That's how I was going to read it too, unfortunately.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Of course.
And the thing is, I was like, I haven't heard this name. This is going to be rough.
Jan Xiaonan, yes.
But I am going to pick Carla Esparza, though. She, California fighter. I always got to go with the representing Cali, since we are from Cali, Central Cali, in the house. I'm picking Carla Esparza, especially when you look at the experience. She does have 6 losses, but she's racked up 18 wins and is a former champ.
For a little while, yeah.
Sure.
I think she lost her belt the very first fight back, but anyways. You don't remember getting obliterated by
I do remember that, but she still got the belt. Do you not remember the light heavyweight division at one point? There was a lot of that going on. Like, somebody would win it, and then they'd lose it. And same with heavyweights. They'd win it, they'd lose it. They'd win it, they'd lose it.
But Carla Esparza came off of the Ultimate Fighter. That's how she got her belt, and then lost it immediately. So it's kind of one of those things where, and it's happened a couple or a few times where you'll come off of the Ultimate Fighter show, get your belt, and the reason why she had the belt is because the belt was brand new at the time. No one had the belt. That was their first time fighting with it. And then, Joanna stole it for, a decade or whatever it was. But she never came back from that, though. She never really, I don't have faith in her, unfortunately. But
Okay.
We'll see. I'm definitely going for Yan Xiaonan, though, in this fight. She's a beast on the feet. She could take a beating and deliver it back. I think she's going to kill her on the feet.
Then I hope she takes her down, and that doesn't happen.
She could. She has that chance. She's a good wrestler. Yeah, she could.
Yeah, she does have that advantage. So we'll see how that goes. Let's continue up this card. And now we are at the main event of the evening with number 3 ranked Rob Font versus Cody Garbrandt.
That's going to be exciting. I'm excited to see Garbrandt back in there. I think his last fight was a Sunsao where he knocked him out with that crazy knockout, or maybe I might be forgetting.
Like that walk-off knockout?
Yeah. I don't remember
so.
That was his last one. I think that was his last one.
They are both coming off wins. Font is 18-4. Cody No Love is 12-3.
Yeah, crazy story.
All of his fights, wow, no submissions.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean,
anyway,
yeah, I get it.
I think that is the fight he's coming off of, that KO versus Rafael Sunsao. But also he got COVID really, really bad in between that time. He's been he was in the hospital. He couldn't even walk for a while.
Rough shape.
It was bad. I listened to his story. I think he must have been on Rogan or something, explaining everything, and it was bad. I don't know if he has any permanent lung damage from all that, but we'll see. But it did take so long for him to come back.
Oh yeah, I've heard about that for some athletes. Unfortunately, mainly women. I've heard about that have had this long-term COVID, and it's really affected their athletic performances.
It's their lungs. I bet they have scarring on their lungs.
I think you're right. I hope that's not the case. I hope they get over it, recover. We'll see how Garbrandt, plays out, because after having it,
I hope he's back in shape. I hope he's as good as he was before. I hope he doesn't have any permanent damage from COVID.
Same. Completely agree.
But I hope so. That would be such a bummer for him to be taken out by that. But Rob Font is no joke either. I don't remember his last fight, but this is going to be a really tough fight for both of these guys, I think.
It'll be a good fight. Number 3 ranked against number 4.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I like the name Rob Font, because all I keep thinking is Microsoft Word and Times New Roman.
Okay. Wow.
That's all I keep thinking. Yeah. I went super dork on that.
Yeah.
But that's how I roll. So,
anyways, I'm picking
my pick.
This one.
That's your pick. You know what? I'm gonna do the same.
Okay.
All right. So those are our picks for the UFC Fight Night that's coming up this weekend. And now tonight, right now, as a matter of fact, we have Cyborg competing in Bellator. That fight's not up quite yet, but it will be. But we're gonna make our picks real quick, so then we can get on to that. We'll start with Austin Vanderford versus Fabian Edwards. Austin is 10-0 against Edwards, 9-1.
Yeah,
US versus UK.
That's close, man. That should be a good fight. I'm not a fan of either one, but just because I don't know much about them.
Unfortunately, I don't know much about it either.
Being undefeated, though, I guess I'm gonna have to go with him.
You gonna go with him?
Yeah.
All right, then I'm gonna go with Edwards.
Okay.
Just to be different.
Austin, that's Paige Van Zandt's husband.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. Yep, that's him.
Oh, well, then I hope he loses. Because let's be real, when he goes home, he's automatically got the win.
I know,
Just be
right?
honest.
Yeah.
All right. The next fight we got is Jaleel Willis. Almost said Lewis. Jaleel Willis versus Mekong Mendoza. We have 14-2 against 11-4 USA versus Brazil. This is a lot of these fighters on Bellator, with the exception of certain names, I really don't know much about.
I don't either.
It sucks, but we're going to still make our picks. These are just educated guesses based off the information that is in front of us.
Yep.
I will let you go ahead and make your pick.
Jaleel Willis is my pick.
All right, he's your pick.
Yeah.
And I'll take Mekong. Just to be different. I got to try and beat you somehow. And now we have Hannah Guy versus Valerie Loreda.
Yeah.
Very new fighters. Yeah, 2-1 against 3-0.
Yeah.
All right. We have an undefeated fighter versus a fighter that's 2-1. What do you think?
Well, I'm gonna go with Hannah Guy. The only reason why is because she has a loss. I'm sure she's learned from it. So, you know.
You know what? I had
Loser's
that
advantage.
same thought. Yeah. But I'll take Loretta just to be, because she's undefeated. Let's keep that undefeated streak going.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Heck yeah. And now we have Darian Caldwell versus Leandro Higo. If I heard right, Higo actually was overweight. He didn't weigh in.
Oh, was he? By a lot? Yeah. Oh, wait a second.
I think it was just a pound, if memory serves correct.
Well, there are two different weights here. I don't know what's the appropriate class for. I'm assuming Higo is supposed to be a 145er and is coming down for this fight.
I think so, because they're fighting at Bantam.
Okay,
and he was only over by a pound.
Okay, he's probably normally a featherweight, and he's probably coming down a weight class for this fight, I'm assuming. But yeah, I don't know, I'll go with Caldwell. No. Scratch that. Going with Higo.
You know what? I'm going to do the same, and that's purely based off of now the weight advantage.
Wait, yeah,
and the experience.
Yeah.
When you have 20-5 against 15-4, yeah, the advantage. I'll give that to Higo as well. All right, and now we're going to move on to the main event: Chris Cyborg versus Leslie Smith. For me, there's only one choice, so I'm just going to write that down right now.
That's easy.
Yeah, because I'm a huge fanboy for Chris Cyborg. That's true. This is the second time they're fighting. Leslie Smith is 12-1.
I think they've run out of opponents for Cyborg. She's recycling now. I don't expect it to go any different than the first one. I think Leslie Smith. I think Leslie Smith is going to get finished. I think that's what it is. I think that's what's going to happen.
All right, so you picking Cyborg?
Yeah, by KO, TKO, KO.
I picked Cyborg by murder. Sorry, that's really over dramatic. I don't care how she wins. I just think she'll get the win. I mean, she is one of the most dominant female fighters in history.
Yeah,
I mean, there's all this talk about Amanda Nunes, but yeah,
she's up there too.
No, she is. You're right, but Cyborg has been doing it longer.
That's the only reason, because she knocked her out also. So both of those ladies are.
Listen, why you want to bring up old stuff? I just like.
Well, because it's interesting.
All right, let's see what else we got going on this week in the world of mainstream MMA. Should we talk about Jake Paul?
What's going on with him? Anything different? I haven't ever heard anything different about him. What's going on with him?
Apparently he has signed with. He has a multi-fight deal with Showtime Sports, and Showtime is tied into Bellator.
Oh,
so
God.
they could do something there. Scott Coker says it's a different landscape now. We love Jake Paul, and this is according to MMA Junkie.
All right.
Who put out the article? If they do it, of course, it is what it is. It's a cash grab.
Yes, for sure.
You're just trying to get viewers. You're trying to get that advertising.
Money.
That's it. That precisely cash grab. So
Yeah.
it is what it is.
Wait, so you said he has a multi-fight deal with Showtime, so he can fight any fight with anyone that has that's in the Showtime
to have his
production?
boxing matches promoted by Showtime Sports.
Okay.
So that could
But
also
MMA
include
though.
him.
They're saying
That
he's
could
gonna
include. No, you're right,
Oh,
but that could include
it
him
could.
going to promote, and
How
then who
smart of
knows
him.
what comes out of that.
Yeah, that's pretty smart. Now he has options. Can make money in
Yeah.
boxing. Could be his boxing match could be a total failure, and he could do it again in MMA and make just as much money. Maybe
Very
not as much
true.
money, but could be definitely another circus fight. So we'll see. I don't know. Yeah, that was pretty smart on his part. Showtime's pretty big too, so whatever.
Very true. Very true. Especially now they have Bellator. They've been promoting boxing forever. They've promoted MMA before. It's the sky's the limit for that situation. It's just, will it come into fruition? Who knows? But then we also have Scott Coker talking about Gegard Mousasi as a possible fight matchup with Yoel Romero. So Romero didn't compete against Anthony Johnson, which is what we were really excited about.
I still want to see that fight. I still want to see it.
as we should. Once Johnson gets everything figured out as it pertains to his legal situation, I hope that gets worked out and figured out. But Mousasi, I'm a fan. I've been a fan of Mousasi's for over 10 years, and so I'm like, oh my gosh, this is gonna be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
But it's Mousasi. They're at different points in their career, but this is a fight I would like to see. I would be really over the moon if they competed against each other.
Yeah, that would be great. I think so too.
And then we'll keep going with other news in the world of MMA. Diego Sanchez is back in the news. His professional relationship with his manager and trainer, Joshua Fabina, has come to an end. All I have to say about that is, thank God. I was tired of this nonsense and the stupid training videos they put out.
I had no knowledge of this before this all blew up. I didn't even know who that guy was. He's nuts. Apparently he's been that way forever. It's sad. It seems more like a really sad situation to where, like, obviously he was taking advantage of Diego Sanchez, but also, like, kind of seemed like a little bit of a brainwashing situation. So weird.
You're right. That whole situation was really awkward.
I
don't really feel like his manager was looking out for him. I feel like it was more of a cash grab.
I guess, but what about all the weird stuff?
Manager?
I don't understand all that weirdo.
The training was so weird, like hanging upside down like a bat and
that's
punching
not
him
training.
in the head.
That's torture. No, hello.
That's causing brain damage. Like, I'm not saying he isn't damaged enough from competing as long as he has. But that's not helping the situation. So I'm glad.
So long, anyways, is impressive. Having to deal with that on the side is insane.
I do worry as a fight fan, and we haven't really seen it with MMA, but we have seen it in boxing, where you have a fighter that's competed so long and taken so many shots to the head that when they speak, it's slurred and it's just not all there. And I kind of feel like Diego will show that later, and I hope that doesn't happen. But with everything that's gone on in his and how long his career has gone on, that is a situation that we will see in the future. And I feel like that situation.
I feel like that's already happened. The fact that he's letting some guy do that to him already is a bad sign. You know?
I just hope it doesn't get any worse. But I have a feeling
probably that's what happens with age. You already get worse with age, but this is going to turn up. I think in the next 5-10 years, who knows what? But it was so okay. That video, I felt like I was watching a weird horror movie. Like, that's what the scene looked like. It's so strange, man. That guy.
I've seen terrible horror movies, that were better than that.
Yeah. I'm just saying creep. I don't know.
Yeah. So I'm glad Diego figured it out to be gone. Good for him.
Yeah.
Let's see what he does next. I mean, he has a wealth of knowledge. He can always contribute in other ways. So
Hope
we'll
so.
see what happens in that instance.
Yeah.
Dana White has also changed his mind about Kayla Harrison. The PFL's Kayla Harrison is dominant. She's 9-0 right now, and he had made some comments about her that she's not ready. He's changed his mind from what this article on MMA Junkie has said. He has
She's
had a
ready.
change of heart. Well, she's 9-0. I mean, you think
she's in a tough organization already. You can't really knock on her organization that she's in already. It's still hard fights, man. And the options you have for the fighters that are in those divisions, you don't have a lot of females that are gonna be on that level, And UFC, their fighters are not on that level either. There are some that are on her level, which would be really exciting fights, but not many. So I think she's more than ready to fight UFC fighters. I think she'd do really well. It's just the whole weight class situation with that featherweight, that UFC has. It's very shallow pool of fighters in the 145 division for females. Plus Nunes has a belt, so that would be a really exciting fight for Kayla Harrison and Nunes. I think Kayla Harrison would kill everyone else.
I think you're right, but she can make featherweight. She has done it when she competed in Invicta FC.
Good. That's
so
good.
She can make featherweight. Dana White says her contract. He knows that her contract is up soon. Doesn't know if she's ready to come over.
I think she's more than ready. It's a whole negotiation thing, I think, is what it is.
When she's ready, they're ready. So we'll see how that goes. That would be really exciting because that chick is a monster.
I think Dana just has to open his wallet. I think that's that's the I think that's the issue because she gets paid so well where she's at. I don't even think she'd get paid that much in UFC, So it's not the fact that she's ready or not. It's if they're gonna pay her, because that's the first thing that she said was pay me, Like if he's ready to pay me, I'm ready,
We'll see what happens though, because I mean, coming in with all this hype behind her, she could get paid better, So hopefully she gets
the shallow pool of fighters at 145.
But she can't make 145. But she can at least make that because they don't have a 155.
Yeah, that'd be even worse of a situation for UFC. There's no fighters, I think, at 155 for UFC. But also, once you go through all the 145ers, not a lot of 135ers can go up to featherweight. But there are some that have done it, like Holly Holmes. She can go up to 145. Jermaine Durandamy, if she's still interested in fighting, I don't know if she is or not. She's great. Amanda Nunes, Felicia Spencer's going to fight tomorrow, so we'll see how good that goes. She could be a contender for that. She is already a featherweight. And I don't remember off the top of my head who else goes up to 145 to fight, but those could be really exciting fights. So I think she could have at least 4 exciting fights in featherweight, but after that, I don't know.
But that's all you really need, because how long is the UFC contract?
I don't know. I don't know how many fights they sign UFC fighters with, or what the standard is, or if it's different for each fighter or what. So I don't know.
Very true.
I hope at least 4. I hope, because she could have at least 4 good matchups there. So
that is true. All right. Now we're also going to switch gears a little bit to talk about boxing. So in case people don't know, Anderson Silva is going to be fighting Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. June 19th, I believe. Yes, June 19th.
4 weeks.
Yep. And he's been training for it. Now, we've watched him train.
Oh, yeah. I saw that.
And I'm an Anderson Silva fan. I always will be, win or lose.
Yeah.
The boxing, man, like, can we just stop some of this?
See, that's what I've been saying, and you're like all for it, and now you're like, okay.
Because I want to see the Paul brothers get knocked out. I want to see celebrities fight because it's stupid.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I mean, I feel like a lot of these fighters are really just starting to look bad because they think they got it in boxing, and it's like apples and oranges, as Joe Rogan put it years ago.
It is exactly
it's apples and oranges.
It's exactly what it is.
So when you see the video of Anderson Silva working out, there are different clips of him. I saw one of him using a speed bag and just overall footwork. And honestly, like I said, I'm an Anderson Silva fan. He does not have the footwork to me. As somebody who's watched boxing, and somebody who's watched a lot more MMA, but does enjoy boxing, I enjoy all combat sports. He is not fast. He doesn't have the footwork to me.
Yeah, I saw that video that you're talking about. But he is hitting a one of those teardrop bags, which is normally they're full of liquid, full of water. Those are awkward to hit anyway. And it is a little awkward movement when you're doing that, and why they chose that video to release, I don't know. But he didn't look like a professional boxer. He looked a little slow, and who knows? I don't know if that video was to make him look good. It's supposed to make him look good, or if it was just a random video that someone took. I mean,
you want to show him off, and you are promoting a fight, but like he didn't look clean. I feel like if you're gonna
it looked like I was watching some random person do a little bit of boxing.
Yeah,
that's what it looked like.
It's like if I was there doing it, like uncoordinated. Like I have a little bit of coordination. My footwork is terrible, but
he looks like he just went through a hard training session and decided to do a little bit of that. Is what it looked like.
Right? Like, hey guys, shoot some video of me, because why not? No. And it sucks. I hope he doesn't get completely embarrassed. God, I hope he doesn't get knocked out badly.
You could already see it happening, huh?
Yeah, I really could. Maybe. But you know what? All right. So the only thing I got is hopefully Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. does not take this fight seriously, because that's like the biggest saving grace of this situation.
Yeah. What kind of shape is he in, though? Do you know?
Yeah, I haven't seen any video of him, so I have no idea.
I don't know. I don't think it doesn't look good for Silva, though. I don't know. I don't like these things.
But it is what it is as it pertains to that. Don't forget, folks, Underground Fight Series is coming up in the first week of June. I think it's the first week of June. Yes. It'll be on Sunday. My days are all mixed up right now. It's crazy.
What day is it right now?
The 21st? Aha.
Friday. You're supposed to say Friday. Anyways.
Oh, I thought you meant like the day. Like, we're in May.
Like, are you wearing Friday at least?
Well, yeah, because we're doing this.
Yeah.
The Underground Fight Series is coming back at the beginning of June. It'll be on Sunday, and we have tons of participants. Archie has been busy getting everything prepped for it. It's going to take place at Halo Jiu-Jitsu once again. If you guys are interested, you can catch us online. We're going to be streaming it once again. The stream should be much better this time. Hopefully there's no problems, because if there is, I'm going to be sweating profusely trying to fix the problem. Because that's what happened last time.
It go from being fun to very stressful really quick, huh?
It was stressful, but then once we got a really clean stream going, I was like, okay, cool, we're good. We're
good. You just see the comments coming in already.
Oh man, it was bad.
It was bad.
After we fixed it, they're like, what are we gonna bitch about?
They're like, oh crap.
Yeah, and I'm like, I wanted to be like, what's up now, punk?
Yeah. Hopefully it goes smooth though this time. We'll see.
Guys can still. Oh, there we go. Haha. It fixed itself. Woo! Hopefully, you guys are still with us on the live stream. Whoever's watching. If
We
not,
were just talking about technical issues, and
yeah, and then it
look what
happened.
happened.
Then it happened. But join us on the live stream for the Underground Fight Series. We look forward to doing it again. And also, I've talked about it time after time. 559 Fights is back. If you are in the Central California area, 559 Fights is going to be holding an event, I believe, at the Visalia Ballpark where the Rawhide play. They do a tremendous MMA show. So if you get a chance, come check it out. You'll have a great time. You'll see some great fights. They really know how to stack a card. So I look forward to that. I want to say that takes place June 19th. I'm not sure, but I think it is June 19th. So I look forward to that.
Do you guys live stream that as well? That would be interesting.
We do not live stream it because we don't own it or anything like that, but we have covered it in the past. And I'll talk to Archie and see what's up about going and checking it out.
That would be fun. That would be
that
really
would be
interesting.
fun. We have done, I want to say, we have done podcasts before the event live from there.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And we've had interviews with fighters. But as for streaming the fights, we have not done that.
That would be interesting. Something to look into. That could be fun.
That would be awesome because I want to see people get punched in the face, either streaming or in person.
Or in front of your face. Yeah.
Exactly. I dig it. All right. You got anything else you want to add for today's show?
I don't. Do not.
All right. I'm James. Wow, if I can say it right. I'm fading. I'm fading. All right, let me do this one more time. I'm James with my co-host Kaelyn. Thank you for joining us on the MMA Mainstream Podcast. Thanks for sticking around for the technical difficulties, and we will see you guys next time. Have a good week.